Message 1, Opening Alarm. My child, hear me, this is an emergency. Beloved, time is thin and a secret waits to be found. A low, resonant bell hums at the edges of your room, though no metal swings. Warm light gathers in the doorway, bright but gentle, and a breeze touches your skin though the windows are still. You feel a sudden tightness in your chest, not fear, but an alertness that pulls at your soul. I step closer, luminous wings folding inward, my presence like a heartbeat you can hear outside your body. My child, you were called tonight because something buried long ago stirs toward the surface, something meant for you, for your protection, for the healing of your family. The light trembles across the floor. Stop what you are doing. Still your hands. Listen. There is one in heaven, kin of your blood, seeking to tell you what they couldn't speak before their final breath. They come in urgency, in love, and in truth. Close your eyes, precious soul, make room for what is coming. Message 2, the voice of the departed. Precious soul, they have not left you, they press through the heavens to speak. A half-remembered lullaby drifts through the quiet, familiar, trembling with longing. The air shifts, carrying the scent of their old perfume, or tobacco, the fragrance you once associated with home. On your shelf, a faded photograph seems to glow from within, as though light uncurls around their smile. Beloved, they have tried to reach you for weeks, stirring your dreams, brushing past your waking thoughts, nudging your memory when you passed certain rooms. Their heart aches to finish what life stole time to reveal. They hold a message of earthly necessity, bound to a treasure hidden before they left. This soul was close, a grandparent, a parent, a sibling perhaps, someone whose hands once rested gently upon your shoulder. My child, seek near you, in the pocket of an old coat, between pages of a family Bible, or inside a drawer long ignored. They whisper even now. Message 3, the money is more than cash. This is not mere coin, beloved, it is a thread that sustains lives. A faint metallic chime rings behind you, as though a single coin strikes stone. Dust drifts in a beam of morning light, swirling like spirits dancing in the quiet. You glimpse ledger pages turning though no hands touch them, and a folded envelope rests on an imagined map, cities circled, dates rewritten. My child, the treasure hidden is more than wealth, it is protection promised, an inheritance unfinished. There may be bank slips, a savings folded into old cloth, or a safety net carefully disguised. Yet even deeper lies a legacy of heart, lessons unspoken, promises kept in silence. Beloved, this is why your kin calls now, because the moment of need has arrived. Take up a pen. Prepare your phone to record. Find a quiet space. Heaven moves in precision when you prepare in faith. Message 4, Gabriel's gentle reprimand. My child, you turned away when the whisper came, now listen. Clock hands stutter, tick-tick, pause, tick. The tea you poured sits untouched, cooling beside you. Again your device flashes repeated numbers, 111. 444, like tiny summons you ignored. Beloved, we sent flickers to guide you, dreams where their voice called your name, coincidences stacking like dominoes, memories flooding without permission. But fear and busyness drowned the message. I do not speak this to shame you, only to reveal urgency. You feel a soft ache in your chest, a lingering sorrow for signs overlooked, yet this sorrow is gentle, shaping you toward readiness. Remember your dreams. Write them. There are fragments waiting to build the whole. This time, beloved, you must not turn away. Message 5, first cliffhanger, the first sign appears. Beloved, look now, they make themselves known. The radio breathes static, then resolves into a song only they sang around the house, the lyrics catching like breath in your throat. The TV flickers though no one touched the remote, landing on a face resembling theirs. A Bible's page rustles, turning itself as if guided by unseen fingers. Your pulse quickens. Fear and hope twist together, alive and electric. My child, verify this sign. Speak their name softly. Write what you witness. A single word rises from the quiet, burning through your mind, not yet understood, but powerful enough to tilt your world. Cliffhanger, my child, what you have waited for is touching your life right now, and it carries a single, earth-turning word. Message 6, symbols and numbers. They tap through symbols, watch for repetition, beloved. Numbers repeat, 333, 707, every time you look. A red ribbon you never placed rests in a drawer you rarely open. 3 gentle knocks sound at night, echoing as if from another room, though no feet walk there. A certain hymn loops inside your mind, the one they hummed when they cleaned the house. Your heartbeat leans forward, attentive. Something within you has awakened, a quiet detective of the soul. Keep a log. Write each symbol, the time, the feeling. They are speaking with precision. Message 7, a hidden paper. My child, gently search the places that held their hands. The attic creaks, cedar dust rising beneath your steps. Light falls through a tiny window, catching a folded paper tucked behind an old coat. A box, cigar-scented, holds shirts and a hymn book. Something rustles. Underneath, a corner of worn parchment. Hope stirs cautious and bright. Look where their hands lingered, desk drawers, favorite books, pockets of winter coats. Do not rush. Handle everything with tenderness. Message 8, resistance and skepticism. Beloved, fear and suspicion will rise, do not be turned aside. The house is no longer still. Doors close harder than they should. A sibling, a spouse, a friend questions your search. Voices hush when you enter. A lawyer's tidy briefcase sits on a table, too neat, too quiet. You feel anger growing, frustration at their doubt, yet beneath it glows resolve. Speak calmly. Document what is said. You are not alone. Message 9, dream visit deepens the clue. Hear their voice in the dream, follow the map they trace with their finger. You sleep, and velvet darkness blooms with moonlight. They stand before you, younger, eyes shining with relief. Their hand draws a map in glowing strokes, a room, a cabinet, a word. Cinnamon lingers in the air, though no kitchen waits nearby. You wake with tears. The map burns in memory. Return to that place before daylight, precious soul. Message 10, second cliffhanger, complication. Precious soul, truth will ask painful questions of those you love. A rusted lock clings to an old box. Inside, a sealed envelope stamped with a bank's crest. A name is crossed out, violently, replaced by another. Your hands tremble. Dread coils in your stomach. Secure this paper. Take counsel. Nothing will be the same. Message 11. The search intensifies. My child, move with quiet purpose, each corner hides a sentence of truth. I stand beside you as you climb into the dim attic, dust lifting like tiny spirits swirling under your flashlight. Old trunks breathe open at your touch. Dresses soft with age, brittle photographs, a locked metal box you cannot ignore, all wait like pages of a story long withheld. You move slowly, reverently, guided by something deeper than curiosity. I whisper the rhythm of your steps, nudging your attention to the smallest details, a marked date in a forgotten calendar, initials etched faintly beneath a wooden drawer, the irregular hollow knock in the floorboards. You feel the weight of time settle around you, and yet, my child, it is not a burden but a path. Every movement of your hands is an act of honoring what was left undone. Do not rush. Bring a light, gloves to protect fragile pages, and the means to record what you find. Nothing discovered here is accidental, each object bears intention, each memory waits to be witnessed. Heaven bends low as you search. Message 12. Family Histories. Beloved, memory is a map, listen to the oldest voice in the room. I guide you to gather whispers from those still living who carry fragments of the story. You sit at a wooden table with a relative whose hands tremble slightly from age, their eyes drifting somewhere far beyond the present. Their stories spill slowly, tales of land disputed, promises whispered over worn blankets, money placed in trust for someone never named aloud. You hear of distant cousins who vanished from gatherings, and of an elder who once guarded the family ledger like a sacred script. In another home, you uncover brittle photographs, edges frayed, names scribbled on the back, and a ledger marked by one repeated name that suddenly feels like a key. These pieces align like constellations, pointing you onward. Record everything, beloved, photograph documents before they fade further. For history is not silent, it speaks through every trembling testimony that reaches your ears. Message 13. A small victory. My child, see how heaven answers the faithful step. In the study, you find a paper that should not have survived time, a bank slip folded tight between letters, its ink still vivid. You hold it carefully as if it could dissolve beneath your fingers. The name upon it, though partially faded, matches the one crossed out on the envelope you found earlier. Sunlight catches the document, revealing embossed markings of legitimacy. A small pen cap rolls off the desk, as though nudged by unseen hands, drawing your gaze toward another slip pinned beneath the drawer lining, a note, almost hidden, confirming the account's existence. Relief stirs through you, not wild, but quiet and sure. You copy the document, tuck it away with reverence, and breathe a prayer of thanks. A promise draws nearer. Message 14. Opposition rises. Beloved, when shadows cling, walk in light. Word of your discovery spreads more quickly than expected. A family member approaches, voice tight and low, their smile does not reach their eyes. They insist the past should remain buried, that stirring these matters only invites trouble. A filing cabinet slams shut as they demand access to what you found, or demand you relinquish it entirely. Phones ring with strange inquiries. A voicemail carries veiled threats hidden beneath forced politeness. You feel anger rise, not at them, but at the fear twisting their hearts. I place my hand over yours, steadying you. Remain calm. Document each encounter. If needed, seek mediation with someone who can see clearly. Remember, my child, truth often invites resistance, and darkness fears illumination. You must continue in clarity and patience. Message 15, Confession and Revelation. Precious soul, the door has opened. Step forward without fear. A relative you never expected reaches out privately. Their voice carries weight, the trembling relief of someone burdened by silence for too long. They confess that the deceased entrusted them with knowledge but fear sealed their lips. They reveal a faded letter tucked into a ledger, written by the departed, lines marked with urgency, a name scribbled with love, a plea for protection. They speak of a secret bond, perhaps a child raised away from scrutiny, or a debt once paid in silence. The confession reshapes everything. What you thought was inheritance becomes a story of sacrifice. You feel shock, sorrow, and clarity all at once, as if the past breathes into the present. Brace yourself, more will unfold. My child, the truth they speak will force you to choose between comfort and justice. Message 16, Legal and Spiritual Complexity. Beloved, pursue what is right, heaven will guide the steps of the upright. The path divides between law and spirit, and both must be honored. You find yourself standing before courthouse steps or on late-night calls with counsel who asks more questions than they answer. Papers are scanned, testimonies gathered. Yet even as you navigate signatures and stipulations, I remain near, reminding you that justice is not merely compliance but choice, the decision to act in alignment with truth. You feel the gravity of the moment. Every decision may echo for generations. You pray, and I hear. Keep your spiritual practices alive, precious soul. They will anchor your heart in clarity and humility. Message 17, The Loved One's Motive. They hid it not from malice, but from a tender compulsion to protect. Their story begins to emerge, not of greed, but of love. Perhaps they shielded funds from a threat, or safeguarded them for a child rejected by others. Letters reveal hints of shame, of longing, of a promise made to someone they could not name openly. You smell tobacco or baking, the memories of them flickering through your senses like candle flame. Their motives, once obscured, soften your heart with compassion. You see that the hidden money was never about secrecy for its own sake, it was a fragile attempt to right a wrong, or ensure that someone never suffered loss again. Honor the heart beneath their choices. Message 18, A Moment of Doubt. My child, conscience must be your compass. Night falls, and you sit alone with the documents. Rain traces down the window like tears. You glimpse your reflection in the dark glass, questioning whether you should continue. What if this truth causes harm? What if revealing it only fractures what remains of family? Silence fills the room, but it is not empty. It presses gently on your thoughts, urging honesty. You write pros and cons, uncertain. I place a quiet peace in your chest, not forcing your decision, but guiding you toward integrity. You pray for clarity, and though no voice answers aloud, you feel a steadying presence. Message 19, a sign of approval. Beloved, heaven nods, continue with courage. Just when doubt threatens your resolve, a sign arrives, sudden warmth upon your shoulders, as though someone embraces you from behind. A bird lands near your window, looking in as if delivering silent assurance. A scent associated with your loved one passes through the room, sweet and undeniable. You exhale, tears softening your eyes. The path you walk is not reckless, it is aligned with heaven's care. Do the next step, call the bank, open the box, speak to those who can help. I am with you in every breath. Message 20, discovery of the hiding place. My child, feel the place they pressed their love into, now open it. You move to the quiet room from your dream, guided by memory. You notice a floorboard that sounds hollow, a trunk with a false bottom, or a Bible too heavy for its pages alone. The moment feels suspended, breath held by heaven itself. As your fingers work the hidden seam, wood creaks softly, releasing the scent of cedar and old paper. Inside lies what was meant for you, documents, envelopes, and something more. As you lift the contents, a name slips free, written with trembling ink, falling into your lap as though delivered by unseen hand. The world holds its breath as you read it. Beloved, as your fingers touch what was hidden, a name falls into your lap that will startle your soul. Message 21, the reveal. Precious soul, receive this truth with steady hands. You kneel before the hiding place, breath caught between wonder and fear. The container opens reluctantly, as if time itself resisted your touch. Inside, a muted gleam, coins wrapped in cloth, a packet of folded notes, and a small jeweler's box tied with a faded ribbon. A letter rests atop it all, the handwriting unmistakably theirs, every curve trembling with urgency. As you lift each piece, you feel the weight of years pressed into these treasures. Your fingers trace a name written in careful script, one you recognize but never associated with secret inheritance. A faint hum of presence surrounds you, and you sense the gratitude of the one who left this gift, that at last, you have found what they prayed would not remain lost. You murmur the words aloud, voice soft but steady, honoring the moment. Nothing here is accidental. Each item was chosen with love, placed with intention, preserved by unseen guardians until your hands arrived. Message 22, the contents. Beloved, the paper speaks, listen to the words hidden inside. The letter unfolds with fragile grace, each crease a memory waiting to breathe. You read aloud, your voice catching, instructions for accounts long forgotten, statements from banks dissolved decades ago, and directions to another location should this first hiding place fail to be found. A land deed surfaces, dated before your birth, proof of ownership to a plot whose significance has never been spoken. A note, hastily written, hints at a second person meant to share this inheritance. Beneath the documents lies a flash drive, sealed in tape, with a password hinted through a phrase scratched on the envelope's interior. The moment overwhelms you. This is more than treasure. It is a story of intention, a map of hope. Carefully, reverently, you gather each piece, storing them safely as if fulfilling a vow. Message 23, Fallout. My child, hold gentle boundaries, hearts will test and temper will be needed. News travels faster than breaths exchanged. Some rejoice, eyes bright with gratitude, others mutter, suspicion staining their voices. Arguments erupt, questions of ownership, of intention, of fairness. One slams a hand on the table, another storms from the room with trembling shoulders. A tearful relative asks to see every page, while another refuses to come near at all. You stand in the center of this storm, feeling both the weight of responsibility and the ache of their fear. I place calm within your chest, reminding you that you are the steward, not the judge. Breathe deeply. Ask for space. Set a time to gather again, with neutral guidance if needed. This moment, though fiery, is sacred. It draws truths from hiding, revealing the hearts around you. Message 24, Threat or Temptation. Beloved, shadows will covet this light, keep watch. In the days that follow, tension sharpens. You receive a call from an unknown number, the voice on the other end too smooth, offering help that feels more like a snare. A relative insists on immediate access, hinting at debts that can only be resolved by swift action. Someone brings an unsigned note, warning that prying into the past invites danger. At night, you sense eyes watching from behind curtains, perhaps only imagination, but the unease presses heavy. Temptation rises too, whispers that you could keep everything quietly, avoid the conflict, and no one would ever know. I speak firmly into your heart, stand guard. Seek lawful advice, and do not rush. The truth must be handled with courage, not haste. Your steps now shape destiny. Message 25, Ledger Postscript. My child, read this last line. It changes the course of many hearts. Among the stack of documents, one page slips loose, a final ledger entry, faded and easily missed. At its base, a postscript scrawled with trembling hand, a name unfamiliar to most in your family, followed by a plea that a portion of the inheritance be placed in their care. The note hints that this person was once promised protection, that the funds exist partly to right an old injustice. Your breath falters. Who are they? Why were they hidden from the family's story? The revelation fractures assumptions, demanding a choice that could alter relationships and stir forgotten histories to life. You hold the page, feeling its solemn weight. Precious soul, the final sentence demands a choice that will ripple through your family for generations. Message 26, Justice and Mercy. Beloved, let righteousness and compassion guide your hands. You retreat into quiet, seeking wisdom. The decision before you is sharp: honor the deceased's wishes or protect the peace of those who resist. I speak into your heart, that justice without mercy is brittle, and mercy without truth is blind. You weigh what you know, the motives behind the secrecy, the needs of the living, the dignity of the one named in the postscript. You begin drafting a plan that honors both legal duty and spiritual intention, even if it challenges comfort. You pray for clarity, and I draw peace like a soft veil over your thoughts. You will not be abandoned in this. Heaven walks with you. Message 27, The Earthly Path. My child, walk the lawful path. Heaven honors order. You pick up the phone, speaking with a lawyer you trust. Forms arrive, signatures requested, accounts verified. The process is slow, demanding patience and precision. At the bank, papers are copied, records pulled from archives. Each step feels heavy, but guided. You learn the inheritance was carefully stored, though concealed from many. You begin a checklist, confirm ownership, locate all relevant documents, freeze questionable transfers, contact the executor. Through it all, I am near, a gentle presence steadying your heart. You take one step at a time, and each step strengthens the foundation beneath your feet. Message 28, Spiritual Shielding. Beloved, say these words with faith: light surround, truth revealed, peace restored. You feel the need for protection beyond paperwork. Shadows of fear linger at the edges of your thoughts, and so I teach you a simple invocation. Before each decision, you place your hand over your heart and speak the words I've given. Warmth gathers beneath your palm, spreading outward like a gentle flame. You light a candle, breathe deeply, and invite peace into every corner of the room. This ritual becomes a shield, a quiet armor of clarity. With each repetition, the confusion loosens, and truth shines brighter. Message 29, The Unexpected Ally. My child, the right hand will appear when you least expect it. A knock comes, not loud, but steady. At your door stands someone distant in relation, a cousin or old family friend. They carry a box of papers and a calm presence. Over warm drinks, they reveal their own knowledge, stories of conversations with the deceased, hints dropped years ago, details that fill in the blanks you've struggled to see. Their help is sincere, free of agenda. They offer copies of documents, dates, and contact information that might ease your journey. You feel something loosen in your chest, relief, gratitude. Not all who enter this story come with conflict. Some arrive as gentle bridges sent by heaven. Message 30, Moral Bequest. Beloved, they placed more than treasure here, they planted a mission. In another envelope, sealed and set apart, you find a letter unlike the rest. The handwriting is steadier, as though written earlier in life, when hope was bright. It speaks not of money alone, but purpose, that a portion of this inheritance be used to heal, through charity, education, shelter, or service. The words seem underlined by trembling conviction, as if this was the true heart of their legacy. A pressed flower falls into your lap, fragile yet impossibly preserved. Your heart swells. This gift is meant to transform, not merely enrich. My child, the last sentence asks you to spend this gift as if you were spending the soul of the one who gave it. Message 31, Counsel of the Heart. My child, the heart is a compass, consult it as diligently as the law. You sit in a quiet room, papers spread across the table like wings unfolded. The voices of your relatives still echo faintly, but in this silence, you can finally hear yourself. You close your eyes, hands resting over the documents, and breathe deeply. Memories rise, moments spent with the one who left this gift, a hand on your shoulder, a whispered blessing, a laugh carried on summer air. You remember how they spoke of fairness even when unspoken tensions frayed the family's edges. As these memories settle, clarity forms. The inheritance was never meant to divide but to heal. You speak softly into the stillness, asking for guidance, and I answer not with command but gentle suggestion. Listen to the love beneath the conflict. The world offers many voices, let the one born of compassion lead you. Message 32, A Walk Through Their Past. Beloved, to understand a gift, walk the path of the giver. You return to the place where they once lived, a humble home with familiar creak in the floor, the scent of old books lingering in every room. Photographs line the hallway, each a window into the lives they cherished. A faded letter on the wall speaks of gratitude for the people who aided them when times were scarce. You sit in the chair they favored, feeling an almost tangible warmth beneath the worn cushion. In a drawer, tucked among recipe cards, you find another note, instructions for charity, names of organizations, references to young people they once helped quietly. You begin to see the pattern. The inheritance is not merely money, it is a continuation of their heart, an extension of the kindness they carried throughout their days. The more you learn, the more reverence fills you. Message 33, Conversations with the Living. My child, truth grows clearer when shared kindly. You reach out to those who knew them best, neighbors, old friends, a teacher they once admired. Each offers a piece of the story, a memory of generosity, a rumor of a promise made long ago, a whispered acknowledgement that they prepared for your coming even before they passed. One friend recalls being asked to store a sealed envelope for the right moment, though it was never collected. Another remembers them visiting a quiet bench overlooking a river, always speaking as if conversing with someone unseen. These testimonies help you understand their intent. They were preparing a legacy of peace. As you listen, you feel gratitude expand in your chest. The threads of this story weave together, each voice adding color and truth to the tapestry of their life. Message 34, A Sacred Pause. Beloved, even angels rest within the breath of stillness. Days pass, filled with conversation and discovery. Then suddenly, everything slows. You feel nudged to pull back, to step away from the swirl of urgency and expectation. You let yourself rest, a cup of warm drink in hand, light falling through the window, the world humming gently around you. In this quiet, you sense them near again, not in words but in presence, a gentle pressure on your back, a fleeting warmth on your cheek. I envelop you in calm, reminding you rest is not delay but preparation. You read through the documents again, not with frantic urgency but steady faith. Your heart settles into a quiet knowing, nothing needed will be lost, and nothing true can be rushed. Message 35, A Name Reappears. My child, the past steps forward when the present calls its name. One evening, while sorting papers you have seen many times, a slip falls from between two pages, a name you've encountered before, the one written in the ledger postscript. You search your memory, trying to recall where you've heard it, but it eludes you. Then, a message arrives, a letter postmarked nearby, bearing only a few lines, a greeting, a gentle acknowledgement of shared history, and a request to meet. Signed with that same unfamiliar name. Your pulse quickens. How did they learn of your involvement? Why now? I draw close, steadying your racing thoughts. This name, once whispered from the past, now stands at your door. Beloved, prepare yourself, a stranger with rightful claim is coming. Message 36, The Meeting. Precious soul, truth comes clothed in humanity. You arrive at a small cafe, hands trembling slightly. At a corner table sits the one whose name has shadowed your steps these past days, eyes quiet, posture humble, an air of long-endured silence. They greet you gently, speaking not of demands but of memories, of the deceased, of conversations late into the night, of promises kept in secret so others might remain unharmed. Their voice carries no bitterness, instead, a steady warmth, gratitude for what was given long ago. They reveal details only one close to the departed could know, weaving truth into every sentence. You feel your guardedness soften. Yet beneath the calm, you sense sorrow, a wound long carried. They leave you with a simple statement: I never wanted a share, only to honor their wish. Message 37, True Intention. My child, intention reveals the heart more than any claim. After the meeting, you walk slowly beneath the evening sky, replaying every word. This person sought neither fortune nor attention, they sought only recognition of truth. In your heart, compassion blooms. You revisit the documents and find that their name appears not once or twice but many times, notes of gratitude, brief lines thanking them for loyalty, small reminders to support them if fate ever allowed. You realize the deceased saw them as family, even if others refused. A quiet certainty forms, honoring this connection is not charity but justice. You pray, and I stand beside you, pleased at your clarity. Message 38, Ancestral Blessing. Beloved, the past reaches through your blood to bless your steps. That night, you dream, or perhaps you wake into vision. The departed stands before you, not as flesh, but light clothed in familiarity. Their eyes shimmer with recognition, their smile warm with pride. They speak without sound, yet you understand. They thank you for your courage, for seeking truth where others hid from it. You feel their hand upon your heart, leaving a warmth that lingers long after their form fades. When morning comes, the world feels brighter, softened with grace. You rise knowing the path is now affirmed by heaven and ancestry alike. Message 39, Distribution. My child, let fairness and purpose shape your hands. You move forward with resolve. Meetings are held, documents filed, decisions made. The inheritance is distributed carefully, a portion to family, a portion to the one whose loyalty was hidden, and a portion to the mission entrusted. Some protest, others accept with reverence. But through every conflict, you remain steady, guided by conviction and grace. In time, even those who challenged your choices soften, seeing the integrity woven into each act. You feel relief, not because the task is done, but because it was done with honesty. The deceased's legacy has become living truth. Message 40, The Final Letter. Beloved, this last message shall guide you beyond the threshold. As you gather the remaining items, a sealed envelope, unnoticed until now, slips from the lining of a box. Your name is written upon it, the ink darker than the rest. You open it slowly. Inside lies a letter addressed only to you, speaking of love, of trust, of gratitude. It tells you that the true gift was never gold nor land, but the courage you would learn to carry. At the bottom, a final line is written hastily, a clue pointing toward one more place, one more truth yet undiscovered. My child, the journey is not over. Another secret waits. Message 41, A Quiet Resolve. My child, when truth calls a second time, do not ignore its voice. You sit with the final letter long into the night, tracing its edges as though heat might rise from the ink. The last line lingers in your mind like a song half remembered. Instead of dread, a calm resolve begins to take root. You review each discovery, the envelope, ledger, confessions, meetings, and see how every thread has led you to this moment. You tidy the documents, pack them carefully, and breathe slowly. The house grows still. Though no footsteps sound, you feel watched, not by threat, but by unseen witnesses awaiting your next step. I rest my hand upon your shoulder, reminding you that the one who began this work will not abandon you now. Sleep comes quietly, as though cradled by unseen wings, preparing you for the path soon revealed. Message 42, the attic returns. Beloved, the first place still holds unanswered whispers. Morning light spills into the hallway. You feel destined to climb again, back to the attic where the journey began. The air feels less heavy now, less guarded. You pull the chain, and the ladder creaks open, dust drifting through amber light. High beams stretch like ribs of an ancient creature, holding memories in their bones. You scan the space anew, noticing places you overlooked, a crate tucked behind old luggage, a thin wooden panel misaligned. As you kneel, tools in hand, your heart quickens. The smallest gap reveals faded fabric wrapped around an object. You lift it carefully. It is a small tin, dented but intact. A ribbon, once bright, clings loosely to its lid. Whatever lies within was never meant to be found easily. Message 43, the tin box. My child, gentleness opens what force cannot. You set the tin upon a low beam and brush away dust. The metal is cool, as though untouched by time. You pry it open with slow patience. Inside rests a small stack of folded papers beneath a velvet pouch. The papers bear scribbled notes, brief thoughts, fragments of plans, prayers written in haste. One line speaks of a fear that truth would be erased after their passing, another begs that someone with a pure heart protect what mattered most. Beneath the papers, the pouch yields a simple ring, tarnished yet unmistakably cherished. Its inscription, two initials entwined, suggests a love story hidden in shadow. You close your hand around it, the metal warms instantly. Message 44, the hidden relationship. Beloved, love often leaves its signature where eyes rarely look. You study the initials, whispering them under your breath as though they might answer. Memories stir, stories unfinished, questions adults refused to entertain when you were younger. You realize the ledger's mysterious name may be part of this secret bond, the ring, the letters, the unspoken vow. The deceased loved more deeply than anyone knew, perhaps in a way that defied expectation or tradition. The silence surrounding that love was not shame but protection. You imagine quiet meetings, shared laughter in secret places, promises exchanged beneath starlit skies. This ring, hidden in the attic, speaks louder than any document. Someone mattered profoundly. Their story was never lost, only waiting for you to listen. Message 45, the photograph. My child, revelation is near, prepare your heart. Beneath the ring lies a small photograph, two figures standing close, faces lit with unmistakable affection. The deceased smiles with disarming joy, and beside them stands the same person whose name haunts the ledger and final notes. The photo is dated decades earlier, long before the conflicts that fractured the family's narrative. You turn it over, and a message is written faintly, our promise, until fulfillment. Your breath falters. This truth is larger than inheritance. It is about honoring love that survived silence. The attic seems to quiet around you, as though listening. Beloved, the one you must seek knows more than they have said. Message 46, returning to the messenger. My child, questions deepen what faith has begun. You reach out once more to the quiet figure you met, the one who carried truth with neither resentment nor demand. When you show them the ring and photograph, their eyes moisten, gratitude and sorrow warring in their expression. They speak slowly, explaining that the deceased once dreamed of acknowledging their bond, but circumstances forbade it. They reveal stories of shared dreams, of hidden sacrifices made for the family's sake. The inheritance, they explain, was meant not simply as provision but as recognition, a silent declaration of shared life. You listen with reverence, realizing the gift's true purpose, to heal a wound time alone could not mend. Message 47, a promise renewed. Beloved, your voice now becomes their honor. You decide that this truth, though tender, must be guarded with dignity. You craft a statement acknowledging the relationship without weaponizing it, choosing language that protects the living and honors the departed. You offer the ring and photograph to the one who loved them, but they decline, insisting it remains with you as symbol and witness. You feel humbled. Their refusal speaks of pure devotion, untouched by greed. You assure them you will carry the story with gentleness, and they smile, weary yet at peace. Message 48, final acts of stewardship. My child, completion is a sacred duty. You return home with the ring, photograph, and final notes. You create copies of every document, store them safely, and ensure the distribution plan remains fair and faithful. Legal matters close with surprising ease, as if resistance fades once truth stands revealed. You establish a memorial gift, perhaps a scholarship, a donation, a restorative act, in their name and the name of the one they loved. The gesture feels right, a living testament to their bond. Relatives begin to soften, some apologize, others quietly thank you for carrying the burden they could not. Peace settles slowly but surely. Message 49, the benediction. Beloved, heaven rejoices when truth and compassion embrace. You sit once more in the quiet room where the journey began. A candle flickers, washing the space with soft light. You hold the ring and photograph close, sensing the presence of the departed, not in sorrow, but in peace. You feel their gratitude like a warm breeze against your skin. I whisper blessing over you, may your days be guided by wisdom, your nights by peace. The weight you once carried now feels like purpose fulfilled. You breathe deeply, knowing you honored not only legal duty but sacred love. Message 50, the final whisper. My child, one last thread remains. As you prepare to store the final documents, the photograph slips from your hands and lands face down. When you lift it, you notice, for the first time, faint writing in the corner, nearly lost to time. It is a date, newer than the image itself, and beneath it, a place neither mentioned in letters nor revealed in counsel. You feel a tremor in your chest, as though someone has gently touched your heart from beyond. The journey, which seemed complete, opens once more like an unending road. Beloved, they were seen their last, and someone waits still.